Oh, hey guys. I'm just trying to change keys. Hey, what would you do without my corny jokes? Hey, I'm like dairy free, so I can't do cheesy jokes. Anywho's, today's lesson is all about changing keys. Changing keys. This is put those away before they jangle my head off. I've completely lost my train of thought now. I have lost my train of thought because of me. Anyways, crazy day. Today's lesson, rhythm lesson, is about changing keys. Just going from a chorus to a verse section and back to a chorus where the key is actually changing. A lovely thing to do within a song. And you know, I picked this up because of the whole Rat influence. You know, Warren DeMartini's playing, and when I was writing that rhythm track, it was something that came to mind because I had been teaching the song Give It All by Rat to one of my students, and the verse section is very inspired by that song. A little tip there, so you can go and check it out. But it was a lovely thing to do because I started in the key of E minor. I'm half step down on my guitar, so I'm playing in E flat minor technically, and then I went to the A minor or A flat minor because I'm half step down during the verse section. And this was lovely flow to it. You know, it changes up the way the song feels because initially, you know, you're in a certain key, and then when you change up for the verse section, the whole kind of feeling of it changes just that little bit. And there are some kind of simple things that you can think about, some simple considerations which you can think about, which I'll talk through with you when I actually show you how to play it and what my thought process was behind it, so that you can get doing it as well. This has occurred on lots and lots of songs. You know, the one that really comes to mind is Eric Clapton, Layla. Immediately from like that wonderful intro, it goes into a different key, and it's actually quite a severe change in that song. And you know, whenever I listen to it, when I listened to it in the past, it always used to throw me. Great song, but it used to be like, wait up a second, what the hell's going on? But really interesting technique to use. So I am going to show you, and today I am also using these, which are very cool. They are picks by Chicken Picks. Yay! I picked a couple of these up at NAMM, and I am really enjoying using these. These are very cool. So do check them out as well. Lovely material. They slide across the strings really well, and you know, it's just cool. I wanted to give them a shout out today. Yeah, Chicken Picks. Go and check them out. Alrighty, you guys want to see how I did this? I want to show you how I did this, so let's get going with the lesson. Yeah, changing keys. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. You know you love that rhythm part. I do. I absolutely adore it. So I actually played that because I was, like I said, I was teaching Give It All, and it's kind of familiar. Go and check it out so that you can see where I got the inspiration from. And it was just very cool doing it because I wanted to do a track which was very much inspired by Rat. Now obviously, when I did the last rhythm lesson, so I was showing how I went from a major chord there, which was the E flat major, then I did the E flat major with the suspended fourth, came back to the E flat major, but then I came back to the E flat minor 7. So it's kind of, you know, same chord E, but using the major and the minor. Then when I went to the verse, I kind of thought, well, let me change the key of the song. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to actually mix it up within a rhythm part and make it really, really interesting. And this was the perfect platform to do that. So I'm playing in the key of A flat minor for this part. Now, when we think about this from a kind of theoretical point of view, it's actually the fourth chord in the scale. So it kind of makes sense. I'm playing the fourth in the E flat minor scale. So like I said, when I play on the low E string, it would be the 0, 2, 3, and then either the 5th fret of the low E or the open A string. And then I can create a chord from that. In this case, I just did an A5 chord, which is just the power chord, the open A string, and the 2nd fret of the D string and the G string. Now what I did then was I actually went to the 3rd fret of the A string, picked that, and then went back to the A5 chord. So you got that nice bluesy thing going on there, and it immediately establishes the key. When I compare it to the E, there's a very, very obvious change of key. And then I carry that on. Then I went to this chord, which is actually partial B flat minor. So I'm actually just doing this with the open A string as well. So what I'm doing there is barring off the 2nd fret of the D string, G string, B string, and then on the D string I'm going to the 4th fret, and the B string I'm on the 3rd fret. So I'm playing the 4th fret of the D, the 2nd fret of the G string, and the 3rd fret of the B. So when I add that in, we get that, which is pretty cool. Then I did this. Something I really, really enjoy doing. So what I did there was I'm borrowing off the 5th fret of the D string, G string, B string this time, then going to the 6th fret of the B. So I'm going to pick it with the 6th fret first, then take my 3rd finger off, which I'm using to fret the 6th fret of the B string, and just play the 5, 5, 5 on the D string, G string, B string. So when I add that together, which is coolio, yeah! Alright, then I did this. So I start off by playing an A chord, but just 1 octave up now. So this time I'm playing from the D string at the 7th fret, doing the 7th fret of the D, the 9th fret of the G, and the 10th fret of the B string. And I'm just going to do an a down up pick with this. And then I mute the string. Then I change the note on the B string from the 10th fret to the 8th fret. Which is a nice little thing. Again, you know, in the song Give It All, there's a section which actually does that, but in reverse. It actually goes, it does that, and I kind of flipped it over. Yeah. Alright, then I did this. So this time I'm playing a G power chord from the D string. So I'm doing the 5th fret of the D string, 7th fret of the G string, 8th fret of the B string. Then I'm going to come back 1 fret and do this chord. So this time what I'm doing is the 4th fret of the D string, and then I'm doing the 7th fret of the G string and the B string. Which is a nice little transition there. Again, the inflection is different, so rather than just doing power chords, I'm actually kind of making it a little bit more melodic there. And when I add it into that other part, there's a nice flow to it. Alright, in between and when I begin this, I start off on the low E string, and what I'm doing is picking the open low E, then I'm doing the 3rd fret and the 4th fret, and this brings me back to the A chord, so like this. Just that, and then the A chord. And then it starts again. So when I play the whole thing, alright, so when I did the repeat there, the second time, what I did was, instead of coming back to this chord, I actually went to the D chord. And I did the hand motion as well. Which you have to do to get this chord right. The most important thing is the hand motion. You've got to come down like this and sweep up like that. It's rock and roll, baby. Alright, so what I'm doing there is the open A string, open D string, 2nd fret of the G string, and the 3rd fret of the B string. Now I like to add that A string in because it gives it a heavier sound. And then I start the rotation again. And once I've done it twice, I actually go back to the key of E minor, or E flat minor, because my guitar is half step down. And by the way, I always leave the link to the tab in the description box below, so please do go ahead and download that if you'd like the tab for this. Alright, so I'm going to go back to E flat minor now, and I'm going to do this. So I'm just doing power chords mainly there, and then just arpeggiating a couple of the chords at the end of each sequence. So first of all, I'm starting off with the E flat power chord, which is the 7th fret of the A string, and then barring off the 9th fret of the D and the G. Then just picking the muted low E string in between. Then I'll transition from this to the D flat chord, so 2 frets down. So when I add that in, I do it like that. So just a slide down, I pick the E flat chord, slide down 2 frets, and I'm at the D flat, which is the 5th fret of the A string, barring off the 7th fret of the D and the G. And then I go to the C flat chord. So this is going to be the 3rd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the D and the G. And this time I'm picking the A string because I want that the 3rd fret note to ring out. And then this is the chord that I'm going to arpeggiate. So I'm going to leave it partially palm muted, and I'm actually lifting my pinky so that it's no longer barring off the G string here. So I've got an open G string now, and what I'm going to do is this. So I'm picking the A string, D string, G string, and then I'm going to come back to the A string. Now the open G string and the 5th fret of the A string are the same note, so you're going to get that kind of double note thing going on. And then what I'm going to do is B string, G string, and then back to D string. So when I add that in, and then I'll repeat it. But this time the ending will be slightly different, because I'm going to arpeggiate the C chord here from the 3rd fret, and then I'm going to come back, I should say, to the D chord as well, and I'm going to arpeggiate that in the same way. I'm basically going to leave the G string open and just play the 5th fret of the A string and the 7th fret of the D string. So like this. And the picking pattern's the same. A string, D string, G string, back to the D string, and then the B string, G string, and D string. And that's going to take me through to my chorus section again. So we've got a lovely, lovely key change in there, going from the E flat minor to the A flat minor, and then back again. So there you go, guys, a little lesson on changing keys, and not the ones in your pocket, the ones on your guitar. Wonderful, wonderful technique to use, and you can get as wild as your imagination will take you. So there you go, a little lesson on that for you today. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel, and also give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends as well. It is much, much, much appreciated. And check these guys out as well, Chicken Picks. Yeah, I'm really, really liking using these. They have a nice tone to them as well, a nice crisp tone, which actually works for, you know, some of my playing, which is, you know, when I really want the strings to ring out and stuff. And they glide across the strings really easily as well. I'm finding fast picking, you know, easier with these. Just feels a little bit easier, you know, to kind of get that thing going on. Anyways, you guys can go and check them out. I'll leave a link in the description box below to them as well. Alright guys, have a fabulous day. I shall be back for more really, really soon. In the meantime, I would love to hear what your favorite key changes are in a song. So please do leave a comment in the comment spots below and let me know. Enjoy this. Here's the playthrough again. Have a fantastic day. Have an inspiring day. I shall see you soon. Bye.